Sprinkles if you got them. Jack's Donuts, find a location near you, now.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. This land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Craving comfort fresh food made from scratch daily? Check out Aspen Creek Grill. Located across from Hamilton Town Center and beside the Holiday Inn, we offer family farm-raised premium Black Agnes steaks hand-cut daily, creamy pastas, salmon chicken, and fall-off-the-bone ribs. Start with our famous powwow shrimp appetizer, and don't miss our refreshing drinks. Family-friendly or a great night out with friends. Aspen Creek Grill. Aspen Creek Grill, Noblesville. Call 317-559-3300.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
All I ever wanted was to feel loved. He said he loved me. My friends told me it wasn't a big deal. They thought he was so cool, but they didn't know what he wanted me to do.
All I ever wanted was to feel loved. You have no idea the kind of pressure I felt to take things to the next level. Things were moving so fast. I was basically the only person in the freshman class who hadn't done it yet. So we did.
I loved him.
I thought she loved me.
My health class had CPR at school. I stayed after class to talk with the instructor about it. They showed me that it didn't have to be that way.
They showed me that I get to make my own choices.
There is another way.
That's the best thing CPR gives you. Another way. A better way.
A healthy way. Sometimes you don't see it because you're in your own world, but they don't make you feel bad. They talk to you like a real person, and they save kids from really unhealthy decisions. They tell the truth, and they know what they're talking about. So yeah, my life was different. I started to choose the better way.
I honestly don't know where I'd be or what I'd be doing had it not been for CPR.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
You want a career that will transform your life while you change the lives of others by helping them live well. With a health or exercise sciences degree from IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences, you will gain an in-depth understanding of the healthcare industry while preparing you for a variety of graduate and professional programs in health. And with Indy as your classroom, you will have clinical options within leading hospitals right in our backyard, as well as a degree from Indiana University, reputable leaders in the healthcare industry. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
After the Marine Corps, I was diagnosed with PTSD and became homeless for 15 years. Like a hermit living on the street, I just existed. I came to Wheeler Mission. Wheeler operates on a culture of kindness. Going through their programs reminded me that my meaning in life is to serve God. God set me free from anxiety and depression. Before Wheeler, I just existed, but today I live.
Sprinkles if you got them. Jack's Donuts. Find a location near you. Now.
Hey, conductor! How about something new? You played this last year. Come on, get your head out of your sacks. Shh, we're trying to hear. Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
Welcome into Bethesda Christian. IndianaSRN has you covered tonight as Park Tudor travels to Bethesda. The 11-1 Bethesda Christian team, 7 wins in a row. Before we preview this one, let's take a look at some of our great sponsors that we want to thank for their support throughout the season. IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences. Begin your journey today. The Morales Group, building better futures one story at a time. Bertner Electric, serving greater Indianapolis and the surrounding counties. Piper Logistics, from warehousing to transportation, we do it all. We'll have the Piper Logistics Player of the Game coming up after this one. And Reynolds Farm Equipment, serving our customers and the community since 1955. Tony Donahue, John Lester with you. John, we've got some size to watch out for tonight, some three-point shooting, but Bethesda riding high on that 7-game win streak.
Yeah, 7-game winning streak. This is the number 3 team in 1A right now. They are on a roll right now, and this is the first time I get the pleasure of seeing him in person here tonight. Looking forward to this one.
When we come back, we'll look at both sides' starters and preview this one. You're watching High School Hoops on IndianaSRN.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
It's very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid, getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
Welcome back to Bethesda Christian High School, where the Patriots welcome in the Park Tudor Panthers for tonight's contest. Park Tudor coming in at 7-5 on the season. Bethesda Christian at 11-1 so far. Tony Donahue, John Lester with you. John, when you talk about Bethesda, they're a fast team, but they do have a lot of size down low, and a lot of size that you don't usually see in Class 1A basketball.
Yeah, 1A, one of the tallest teams ever seen in 1A, like you said. And I was looking at this team, looking at some. I don't see where there's a weakness in this Bethesda team. They are deep. They can shoot the ball. They can rebound and size inside. I think this is a team, if they keep this up, you're going to see them make a deep run in the 1A playoffs this year.
Yeah, and it starts with Sam Malogan, 16 points, 14 rebounds. Luke Douglas steps up as well. He averages 11 points, 4 rebounds. Luke Stuckey, Jamison Chapman at 8 points apiece. A lot of balance there. Yes, the 2 Malogan boys who average 17 between them are going to get a lot of looks. But everybody seems to step up for this Bethesda Christian team.
Yeah, and they do go pretty deep as well, so there's not, like I said, there's not a weakness on this team. Everybody has a role. Everybody knows their role, and they perform it very well. They protect the basketball, and, yeah, there's just a very, very talented Bethesda Christian team here.
This Bethesda Christian team kind of reminds me, maybe not with the D1 talent that Park Tudor had 5, 6, 7 years ago with the likes of Trayvon Blewett and Yogi Farrell and even Jaron Jackson Jr., who's playing right now for the Memphis Grizzlies. But you take that kind of recipe and you say, hey, let's get some really good players from around the city to come play here. It's a small school. Let's dominate. And so far at 11-1, Bethesda's been very dominant on the basketball court.
Definitely, yeah. Coach Grubaum has definitely done a great job on the recruiting there for Bethesda Christian and just has this team definitely going in the right direction.
Park Tudor at 7-5 on the season. It's been an up and down campaign so far for the Panthers. Came on Washington, Jermaine Coleman, and Bryce Petty, though. Those are your workhorses for the Park Tudor Panthers.
Yeah, Park Tudor, just saw them. We just had their game there on Tuesday. They're coming off probably their most complete performance of the season, and they hope to carry that into this game as well. And I'm looking, you were talking 7-5, but they are just a few away from being 10-2. They have 2 3-point losses and an 8-point loss, so this is still, despite the 7-5 record, this is a very good team at Park Tudor.
Yeah, and you kind of know where you are right now as a basketball team, and if you're Park Tudor in this locker room, you're going, hey, this is a very good team we're going up against. If we can have this game close down the stretch, we've got to figure out a way to get victories. As you mentioned, records, you look at it, you say, all right, yeah, we're 7-5. It could be 10-2. But really, that record only matters once you hit the reset button and you go to the tournament here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and we got sectionals coming up in about a little over a month here. So Park Tudor looks to get that momentum going here as well in that game. And again, this is a conference game. Both teams, they're both undefeated in the conference, so this is a big game for Park Tudor as well in that aspect.
Yeah, and you want to play competition like this late in the season where you know, hey, these are going to be the same teams, obviously in our Conference 1A, a little bit smaller than what you would see in the 6A side of things. But these are, there could be a rematch of this in the opening round of the sectional, and Park Tudor's going, all right, we played them 2 or 3 times now. We know what they have. How much do you not want to give away too much tonight, though, knowing that you might see them here in a month or two when it comes to sectional?
Yeah, right. And then don't forget you've got the conference playoff coming up here, I believe, in February, second week in February as well. So, yeah, that's a good point there. You're pretty familiar anyway, being conference but like you said, do you want to show a lot with the playoffs coming up where you could see them again, like you said, down the road? So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see on that aspect tonight.
So Bethesda Christian, the Patriots take to the floor. We talk about in high school hoops, John, fundamentals, right? We're talking rebounding, don't give the opposition second chance opportunities, don't turn over the basketball, and hit your free throws. And in any game, I don't care if it's middle school or the NBA, if you can cover those 3 better than your opponent, you're more than likely to have a good chance to win a basketball game.
That's one of the things, whenever I see the game I'm doing, that is one of the first things I look at both teams is turnovers. You've got to protect that ball. You do not want to give extra possessions up. Bethesda Christian, Park Tudor doesn't turn it over a whole lot either, so both those teams on that aspect are very good. The one thing I look at, the Park Tudor, they do give up almost 60 points a game, so they do score almost 60 points a game. That's probably not going to work against Bethesda because Bethesda can score the ball, so Park Tudor may have to switch the defenses up a little bit here tonight as well against Bethesda.
And Park Tudor's a team that loves to get up and down. They love to run, very athletic basketball team. That likes to push the pace. And Bethesda, who is a little bit bigger, they will try to slow it down. So really it's about a game of runs usually, and then who can impose their will, especially early here and often. We'll take a break real quick. When we come back, we'll get you your starters and the national anthem. You're watching High School Hoops on a Friday night on IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more.
Welcome back. High School Hoops right here on IndianaSRN. Hey, don't forget to like, subscribe on Facebook and Twitter, as well as YouTube. Plenty of High School Hoops action over the next couple of weeks as we are winding down the end of the season here for High School Hoops. The girls' pairing show coming up. They'll get their tournament started a little bit earlier than the boys. City Alliance tournament going on tomorrow night. We'll have you covered right here at IndianaSRN in both of those semifinal contests. I know I will have both of those from Tech High School. We got a good one tonight here. Tony Lowney alongside of John Lester. Park Tudor 7-5. The Panthers on the road tonight taking on Bethesda Christian at 11-1 on the season. They have won 7 games in a row, and we'll talk a little bit more about how they got to that 11-1 record. here this evening. But Park Tudor coming in at 7-5, and John, you mentioned this, and it's worth pointing out, can you close out these close games? And so far, they haven't really learned to be able to do that.
Yeah, up until this last game. Now, the last game against Speedway, like I say, about the best second half they've played almost all season there, scoring over almost 50 points there in that second half against Speedway. So they're coming off their best performance of the season. Let's see if they can keep that going here tonight.
Park Tudor and Bethesda Christian. Let's go courtside for the anthem and the upcoming starting lineups.
Good evening and welcome to the Don Tyler Center on the campus of Bethesda Christian School for tonight's varsity boys basketball contest featuring the Panthers from Park Tudor and
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. This land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to Bethesda Christian High School. Let's go courtside for tonight's starting lineups. Well, it's a big size team for Bethesda Christian, especially on the 1A level. Tony Donahue, John Lester with you to get ready for the tip-off here. This 1A interconference showdown between Park Tudor and Bethesda Christian. Anytime you're at the 1A level and you've got 4 of your 5 starters over the 6-foot mark, you'll take that.
Yeah, definitely. That's not something you normally see at the 1A level, is the size. And I'm a couple things I'm looking for tonight if you want to get with Park Tudor and Bethesda Christian. You got Bethesda Christian, Malagan, and Douglas. They average almost 30 points a game in between them. Park Tudor's probably not going to be able to completely shut them down, but they're going to have to contain them as best they can. That's why I'm anxious to see if they throw a little bit of different defenses out there tonight to try to keep Bethesda honest offensively.
Who do you think's going to win the tip here? I'll go Park Tudor. There's a little bit of a size advantage off the bat.
He's got about a 2-inch hair advantage, too, so that's, yeah.
This is true. So, again, your starters tonight for Park Tudor: Bryce Petty, Jermaine Coleman, Cayman Washington, Ruffin, and Horvath. And for Bethesda Christian, the 2 Malagan boys, Douglas, Stuckey, and Chapman, as we get ready to tip this bad boy off. The clock already rolling. We'll see if they catch this. I'm sure that they will eventually, but we are underway. About 10 seconds into the clock, so we'll see if they go back and adjust that. If they need our help, even though we're not in the gym, they tip it at 7:50. Bethesda controls the opening tip. Stuckey has it to the left side, Douglas. Douglas, left-handed dribble. Waits for a screen, dishes it to the left side. That's Stuckey. Thought about a 3, and they'll set up a very patient offense here, is what Bethesda Christian likes to run. Jamison Chapman has it to the left side. Malagan, him and his brother are out there. Chapman has it, and they're slowing it up.
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of feeling out Park Tudor defense here on this first possession as well.
So Park Tudor going man-to-man. Looks for a screen is Malagan. That's Sam Malagan, averaging 16 points and 4 boards per contest. Finds his brother to the left side. Now Stuckey has it. One-man loose ball deflected. Goes right in the hands of Isaac Malagan, and they'll set it back up. And this is an over 1-minute possession here to start the quarter.
Yeah, it's one of these possessions where you want to see, Bethesda trying to feel each other out. Park Tudor may have to get a little bit aggressive here.
Yeah, and I think if you're Bethesda, if you're going to have over a minute-plus possession to start, you better be getting a good look here towards the basket down low. We'll see what they can do. There hasn't really been too much penetration. It's all been outside the arc. There's a jump shot, short, no good. And the first shot of the game goes short for Bethesda. That was Sam Malagan, and now Park Tudor will have it with Bryce Petty, the basketball in his hand.
That's one of those you were just talking to get a good shot. I don't know if that's the best shot they could have got on that possession.
Back up top. Here's the swing. A lot of size for both teams, especially Park Tudor. Washington right side power dribble up top. Thought about it. Takes the long-range jumper. Splashes it home from deep. And that is Ruffin, and he's got the first 2 points of the game belong to Thomas Ruffin. Nice little sweet spot there. Didn't realize how much he was open and then stepped into it.
Yeah, let's see if Bethesda tries to pick it up offensively here in this next series here.
Park Tudor remaining patient on the defensive end. About 1:20 gone by in this one. Again, we'll see if they adjust that clock back after the tip came with 7:50 remaining in the first quarter.
They're staying to that zone defense right now.
And they're trying to cut off the passing lanes to try to force Bethesda to do something. Here's a double team. Get out of it. Back up top. Malagan, jump shot, mid-range, short air ball, batted around, and Park Tudor has numbers. It's the 5-on-4. Bryce Petty has it. He'll take 2 dribbles to his left, kick it out, and they'll reset the offense.
Very, very patient here on both ends. There's a nice 3-look.
3 ball off the rim, no good. Bounces off the backboard and off. So the miss there by Ruffin, who has the first 2 points. Back on the other end, 3 ball for Bethesda Christian with the answer. It's Jamison Chapman. Thought we heard a whistle, but they play on.
And the clock has stopped.
I think our feed is behind. So I believe that we're 10 seconds behind of the live action. So if you hear a horn or a whistle in the background, I think that would make a lot of sense why the tip would happen. So why don't we, if we can, let's go ahead and kill the crowd mic if possible, and we'll just play it out from here. And a turnover off the inbound pass out of bounds, and Bethesda Christian will have it with a 3-2 lead. Again, a slight delay here, so we'll try to keep we're in a studio, so we'll keep the gym as quiet as we can. Nonetheless, Bethesda with the basketball and a 3-2 advantage. Chapman hands it off. Chapman had the 3 on the last possession. Here's a screen, jump shot, splash.
Nice touch there by Stuckey there on that.
Luke Stuckey patiently off the screen, hits it off the elbow, and it's 5-2 Bethesda. Park Tudor looking to answer. It's a 5-0 run from Bethesda Christian on their last 2 possessions. Here's the ball stolen by Bethesda. That's Luke Douglas to Chapman. Chapman back to Douglas. Douglas fires a 3 off the rim, no good. And Park Tudor controls the rebound. Both teams doing a good job of not allowing the opposition second chance opportunities. Here's a dribble drive, and it's going to be another steal. So that's 3 straight turnovers for Park Tudor. Bethesda to the rack. He's going to spin out of control, and he will be fouled. So Malagan is fouled. That'll be called on the ground. And I believe that's the second foul committed by Park Tudor.
Yeah, looks like they got Ruffin on that foul there. You send Malagan to just side out of bounds, I'm sorry.
And Ruffin, when you have that strength, important, John, to go straight up and not try to block and overpower because you're going to get called for a foul 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, right. Man.
Chapman has it. 8 points, 3 boards a game. Left-handed dribble. Thinks twice. Goes to the right side. Power move on the pump fake, but he'll slow it down. So very patient offense here. Leads to the layup. No good. Park Tudor and Jermaine Coleman with the rebound.
Yeah, Malagan a little out of control there. Threw up a wild shot there. Probably want a little bit of better look for Bethesda that trip.
So Park Tudor will look for a decent shot here. Dish to the left side. There it is off the backboard. Just couldn't convert. And Bethesda Christian well on their way here. And we will have we'll see, a travel. So a travel here. Just shuffled the puppies there, and we'll have a substitution as Park Tudor will check in Keelan Smith.
3 early turnovers for Park Tudor, as you mentioned, but that's something that they're going to have to keep down against this Bethesda team tonight.
So Park Tudor at the basketball, trailing 5-2. They had the first bucket of the game. It's been 5 straight from Bethesda, and that's the 4th turnover for Park Tudor in the quarter. Another steal. Let's see if Bethesda can capitalize, up by 3. Dribble drive, floater, got it. Nice bucket there, very patient. And Isaac Malagan has 4.
Yeah, nice touch there for Malagan, and 7-0 spurt here for Bethesda.
7-2 the score. Park Tudor at the basketball. Swings to the left side, 3 ball in the air, short air ball, batted around. It's going to go out of bounds, and it'll belong to Bethesda Christian. So Park Tudor with yet another turnover after the ball goes out of bounds on the air ball. Substitutions coming in here for Bethesda Christian. And that will be Jesse Gehrig checking into the contest.
Liking what Bethesda's doing defensively against this Park Tudor team right now, not giving them any good shots here through this first quarter.
They seem to, on the defensive end, just be a little bit faster. They're getting into those passing lanes and causing havoc when Park Tudor is trying to set up their offense. Bethesda with the ball, as John mentioned, on a 7-0 run. First bucket of the game with the Park Tudor, but after now 5 turnovers in the quarter, Bethesda with a 5-point advantage. Chapman thought about the 3. He's already hit 1. That got the scoring going for the Patriots early in this first quarter. Swing to the left side. Comes Stuckey. 3 ball. Chapman short. Batted around, and it's going to stay with Bethesda. So, again, aggressively going for the board there. And that deflection, Gehrig went up for it. Park Tudor knocks it out of bounds, and another look here for Bethesda Christian with a 7-2 lead with 1:44 remaining here in the first quarter.
Even though you saw a missed shot there, you like that hustle on the rebound attempt there, knocking down and get yourself a second possession there.
And you like having a guy like Gehrig go come off the bench, knows that, you know what, I'm not here to score, I'm here to rebound, set screens, and kind of be that rotisserie guy that's going to give you a little bit of everything. Up top comes Bethesda. Fancher over to Chapman. Chapman will dribble drive. Left side. A lot of picking up of the dribble here. You want to keep that dribble going. Nice backdoor pass. Up, under, scoop. Off the backboard. And Sam Malagan puts it in. He's got a bucket.
That was a great look there, and finding Malagan underneath the basket there. Great assist.
So Malagan with his first 2, and it's 9-2 Bethesda. On a 9-0 run, under a minute remaining here from Bethesda High School. See if Park Tudor can stop the bleeding. Steps outside, pump fake, and they'll reset the offense. John, at this point, are you looking for maybe that last shot with about 45 seconds left on the clock? Not give Bethesda another possession? Battles down low, misses, gets his own rebound, goes back up with it, and he's going to be fouled. So a nice second chance opportunity, and sticking with the play, and Park Tudor will head to the free throw line, and that's the big man, Jermaine Coleman.
Coleman looked like he's trying to take over the offense a little bit here, trying to get the offense in rhythm here. He'll have a chance to earn 2 at the line.
Very Moses Malone-esque for him. This broadcast is copyrighted by IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association for the private use of our audience. The use of pictures, video, and audio without the express written permission of the IHSAA is prohibited. 48 seconds to go. First free throw, good.
Coleman kind of took over that second half against Speedway the other day for Park Tudor.
He's got the length and the size down low to do so. Second free throw, short off the rim, left side, and a nice rebound there by Bethesda. And he's fouled immediately. You don't want to commit fouls 82 feet away from the basket.
Yeah, that's not a foul you want to commit there. That's one of those, getting a little too aggressive, and unfortunately you cost yourself a silly foul there.
So Bethesda with the ball, 47 seconds to go.
Now this is a situation, like you were talking the other end, I expect Bethesda to try to run this down all the way as far as they can, get as best shot as they can.
9-3, the advantage for Bethesda. Kick out, left side, 3 ball in the air. Halfway down, no good. Offensive rebound, put back short. Another putback around the rim and good. So a third chance opportunity there, and it's Devin Rudolph with the bucket. He missed the 3. And here's a steal, but they're going to call a foul. So with 17 seconds remaining, quick foul. 11-3, the advantage for Bethesda.
Yeah, you like I mentioned earlier, you like that hustle, get yourself 3 chances on the glass there. Finally get that put back.
So Park Tudor with the basketball. Bryce Petty, Ben Wilkerson. Wilkerson has it, gets a screen, drive, right side, pump fake, steps into a 3, no good, but they're going to call it travel. So he shuffled the puppies, and that is a 5th turnover here into the first quarter for Park Tudor. Yeah, see what Bethesda can do on a final possession with an 8-point advantage. Dribble drive here. Comes Malagan, and we're going to have a charge. He lowered his shoulder, and he got called for the foul. So Park Tudor will have about 2 seconds to get a shot up here before the end of the quarter.
Yeah, anytime you throw that shoulder out, that's almost a charge every single time.
So the inbound pass will go to Wilkerson. He'll take 3 dribbles, fire it from half court, and it's going to be short. At the end of 1, it's Bethesda Christian with an 11-3 advantage over Park Tudor. You're watching High School Hoops on IndianaSRN.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
And we're back after one quarter of action. Bethesda with an 11-3 advantage over Park Tudor, and really, John, it was an 11-1 run. Bethesda really took over there. Once they were very patient the first couple of possessions, saw what they needed to in the defense, and got some really good looks.
Yeah, really adjusted there and had Park Tudor kind of confused there on the offensive end, holding them down to just that one free throw there in about the last 6 minutes of that first quarter. And it created the offense at the other end that Bethesda started to get going there after that little bit of a slow start they had offensively, trying to be patient.
So underway in the second quarter, and Bethesda on defense. Park Tudor has it. We're about 30 seconds into the first quarter here. Park Tudor again trailing by 8, 11-3. Dribble drive penetration, gets it, goes up with the right hand, uses that left hand as a blocker, and a nice bucket there by Kelvin Mark Jr.
Yeah, great move there by Mark Jr. Found the lane, got the offensive lane. Let's see if that's the offensive start that help that Park Tudor needs.
Here's a 3 ball on the outset, no, and Park Tudor cleans up the glass. They'll push the tempo. That was probably the in between quarters. It was, hey, let's push the tempo and let's get some good looks going towards the basket. Steps into a 3 here off the right side, no good. And Malagan corrals the rebound. 11-5 Bethesda.
Good look there. Unfortunately, just came up a little bit off there on that three-point shot.
Yeah, you'll take that, right?
Yeah.
You'll take a good look, especially with what this defense has and hasn't given them. Here's a 3 ball, top of the key, and it's good. So they'll knock it down from the top of the key. That is Rudolph with the 3-pointer from top of the key. And it is 14-5 Bethesda with a 9-point advantage.
Yeah, great look there by Rudolph with a 3-point look. And we're going to get a foul here, looks like.
Yep, we'll see if they count the bucket. So he was fouled. I think they're going to call it on the ground. In the NBA, John, that would have definitely been continuation. We appreciate you watching High School Hoops here at IndianaSRN. Tony Donahue, John Lester with you. Brett and Brad doing a great job producing and the camera work. Plenty of High School Hoops coming up this weekend. Petty with the basketball, goes up, hangs in the air, doesn't get it. And a nice rebound there by Rudolph, who, John, has came off the bench to provide Bethesda a nice spark.
Yeah, a great defensive play there to create the little bit of forced shot there, and then you get the foul on the other end as well.
So it's a 9-point advantage for Bethesda. Minute and a half gone by in the second quarter. Aspen Creek Grill. If you feel like treating someone special to a delicious meal, check out Aspen Creek Grill. Next time you come in for dinner, buy some gift cards to share with our friends. Aspen Creek Grill has great food. Check out their hand-cut fillets. 317-559-3300. The Aspen Creek Grill trivia question of the day we'll get to here in a minute. John's got it as we have a foul on the second chance opportunity, and Luke Douglas will go to the line. John, you got a trivia question for us?
I do have a trivia question tonight for all you folks that have this going back a few years here. But
send it to @IndianaSRN on Twitter.
Yes, send out IndianaSRN Twitter if you know this answer. Of course, if you followed Indiana high school basketball for a number of years, you probably know who the last team was to win the last single-class championship. My question is, who did they beat in the championship game?
I like it. First free throw, no good. Second in the air for Douglas, rattles it home. So Douglas goes 1 of 2 from the line. He's got 1 point. Park Tudor with the basketball.
I can see if Park Tudor tries to get a little bit more aggressive here on the offensive end here. Bethesda's really shut them down here in about the first 11 minutes.
Especially on his double team, and there's a 3-pointer miss. They're being doubled up top, so somebody's open. You got to cut to the basket. Get that open look. Chapman has it, back up top, right side. Dribble drive here. Thought about the basket, turn back up. Chapman will drive it. Spins out of it, turnaround jumper off the rim, and he traveled.
Yeah.
So another turnover there. And Bethesda has it, I believe, up 15-5.
Yeah, Chapman, unfortunate there, got his feet a little bit too aggressive there and tried to go in for the drive, and that's the third turnover for Bethesda.
And, John, we'll see if Park Tudor here gets something. They got a good look right off the jump in this quarter to the basket, but it seems like they're settling too much outside of the arc. Here's a jump shot, top of the key, no good. And we're gonna have a foul on Park Tudor. Jamison Chapman ran over.
Now, if you're Park Tudor, you're liking the looks you're getting here the last couple possessions. Unfortunately, they're just not dropping right now for Park Tudor. There's a lid on the basket right now.
And some of these jump shots, now Bethesda knows you're going to take those. That's when you really have to work on that pump fake and then drive to the rim. And we'll see. We got a substitution here, so Isaac Malagan will check back in. Luke Douglas in the backcourt, picked up by Bryce Petty. Chapman has it. He's got a 3-ball tonight, averaging 8 points per contest. Left-handed dribble. He's going to go to the rack. Picks up his dribble, and he travels again. So he's traveled 3 times now. Can't be shuffling them puppies.
I tell you what, Bethesda, like we were talking about, how they rotate players, and you like to see each player knows and they're doing their own, they know their role, and that's something you like to see there. Very disciplined.
So Park Tudor with the basketball, trailing by 10. Dish up top. They'll drive the lane here. Spin, got a good look at it. Off the backboard, good. So a nice bucket there by Park Tudor. And we'll see, we've got a whistle. We're going to have a bench warning on Bethesda. So a nice bucket there to make it 15-7. And I believe that was the big man, per usual, going up and getting the nice bucket and roughing.
Yeah, something going on the bench there the officials didn't like, and giving them a warning there.
So a bench warning to Bethesda, and Chapman has it. Full court pressure here, a 3-man defensive pressure here shown by Park Tudor. Bethesda breaks it to get it over the timeline. Chapman spins out of it. And we've got a 30-second timeout called by Bethesda. We'll keep it right here. Park Tudor's getting good looks, as you mentioned. They just haven't been able to convert. But what they have been able to convert, John, is those buckets going towards the basket using the backboard. You got to continue to get downhill.
Yeah, like I said, they're getting the three-point shot, and they're just not falling, so they're trying to work the ball inside a little bit, having a little bit of their way inside, as you mentioned there, and Bethesda may want to shake up that defense, start playing a little bit more inside.
Ref Reps is designed in partnership with numerous state high school associations, helping officials to hone their skills and promote unity in the officiating world. Ref Reps is for the new official as well as the seasoned vet. Contact us at refreps.com. Yeah, I think for Park Tudor, the key to cutting into this 8-point deficit is slowing it down, getting a good look. They seem to just, that first look they get, whether it's from the outside or a foot into the 3-point line, isn't always the best look that you can get if you just slow it down and wait for your screens. There just hasn't really been a lot of offensive production coming from some of the set plays that they've tried to run.
And early in the game, you didn't see a whole lot of offensive movement as well. That's starting to change as well, it appears, and almost create a turnover, and they did.
So it is. So Chapman gets in the corner and picks up his dribble once again. As a coach and a player, you don't want to pick up your dribble, and you don't want to do it going into the corner, which becomes coffin corner there because you've got 3 defenders on you, and that third defender is the out-of-bounds line because you can't move. So another turnover there. That is the 4th so far on Chapman. We'll see if Park Tudor can answer here with a bucket. Ruffin has it up top. Looks to the left side, Washington. Coleman, got away with the carry. And no, he did not get away with it. They are going to call it. So, yes, it was a carry as Chapman wreaked some havoc there in the passing lane and forced the turnover.
Yeah, turnover starting to pile up a little bit here, Tony, on both sides here. 6 for Park Tudor and 5 for Bethesda.
We're going to blame you because in the pregame you said these are two. Park Tudor doesn't turn it over that often, so the old announcer jink is alive and well here at IndianaSRN. Bethesda with a 15-7 lead by 8. It's been a low-scoring quarter here as we are halfway through second quarter and turnover there, and we have a foul. Was it before or after the change of possession? And I think it is going to be on Jamison Chapman. No, it's going to be on Park Tudor.
If that's Ruffin,
I've got Ruffin, him for 2. And Ruffin's going to come out. So he had the steal, but they're saying that he put up an arm check to be able to get in that passing lane and steal the basketball.
So he's been a lot of the offense for Park Tudor here in the first half, and he just picked up his 2nd foul and may have to sit the rest of this half out on the bench.
Yeah, we're halfway through the second quarter here from Bethesda Christian. 15-7 is their advantage. Malogan gets it in. Left side comes Stuckey. Stuckey up top. Finds Sam Malogan. He's been pretty quiet so far in this contest. Their leading scorer was 16 points per.
Park Tudor's starting to get very aggressive on the defensive end as well. They've really picked up the defensive pressure here.
Right side power dribble. Looks to the left side. Comes Malogan. Malogan down low. And it's going to be missed, but a second chance opportunity and a foul. So Luke Douglas corrals the offensive rebound and is fouled on the way up. He will go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Yeah, but Bethesda's really taking advantage of that offensive rebounding here tonight against Park Tudor, giving themselves 2 and 3 chances, and at the other end, you're only seeing get Park Tudor one and done.
So we'll see if Douglas can convert from the free throw line. First one up and good. It's a 9-point advantage. It's the most it's been here in this first half for Bethesda Christian. Second one off the back iron, no good. Falls right into the hands, and a second chance opportunity by Sam Malak, and he puts it in off the window. And it's 18-7. It's a 30-second timeout here, but we talked about this, John. Second chance opportunities. The free throws were off of a second chance opportunity, and then the putback there on the missed free throw attempt gives you a 3-point possession there.
Yeah, 3-point trip there, and again, Park Tudor just unable to come down with the rebound, just giving up these second chances after second chances. I have a feeling Coach Adams is going to be discussing that in the halftime speech here.
Yeah, he's getting into him pretty good here, and I'm sure the message is get into somebody and block them out. The Hoosier Basketball Magazine is in its 53rd year and is now out, so head on over to HoosierBasketball-magazine.com. Call 317-925-8200. Follow the top players in high school and college basketball. Thanks to Kip Wessner and Hoosier Basketball Magazine for their support of Indiana SRN. Park Tudor with the basketball, trailing by 11, 18-7. That is their longest. That is the biggest deficit of the evening. Petty drives, kicks it outside. 3-ball in the air, splash it home.
That's about your best offensive possession of the night for Park Tudor, finding the open man outside for a 3. Let's see if they get the Park Tudor offense going here.
So Mark Jr. knocks it down. His first 3. I believe he's got 5, and Petty steals it. He'll try to go coast to coast with it. Off the backboard, good.
Couldn't ask for a much better timeout for Adams. Quick 5-0 spurt out of that timeout.
Nice 5-0 run, and it's 18-12. We'll see if Bethesda can answer here with under 3 to play in the first half. Bethesda with the basketball. Luke Stuckey has it. Backdoor pass. Great pass in the air. No foul called. Ball batted around. Douglas wanted the foul. He misses a layup, and Park Tudor with the basketball, trailing by 6 on a 5-0 run.
Yeah, Douglas thought he was fouled there, but didn't get the call. And then
Petty has it and saves it in the corner. Off the pump fake, spin, left side. Dribble drive, scoop shot, off the rim, no good. And Bethesda corrals the rebound. Here comes Sam Malagan. Malagan will go all the way lower his shoulder, get some space off the backboard, no good. And the rebound there goes to Kelvin Mark Jr. He'll set the tempo here for Park Tudor, trailing by 6. Under 2 to go. Dribble, right side, kick out, spin. Some contact. We got a 3 in the air, short, no good. And there's going to be a foul called, and it's going to be on Park Tudor. And they'll go the other way. Bethesda Christian will take over the basketball.
Yeah, another good look there for Park Tudor, just unfortunately unable to come down with it. And I believe we're going to have free throws at the other end for Bethesda now.
Yeah, so into the bonus they go, the 1-and-1 with under 2 minutes remaining. And this is an opportunity to finish the half off strong by being aggressive going towards the basket because you know every foul is going to put you on the free throw line.
Yeah, I read a 1-and-1 situation. But I'm not going to see what from Park Tudor, only a 3-point first quarter. They've gotten the offense going here a little bit and picked up the defense and cutting into this deficit here.
So the 1-and-1 coming up. First free throw off the rim, no good, missed by Isaac Malagan. Park Tudor has it, minute 30 to go.
Going to be very patient on the offensive end of this possession, it looks like.
Very close to that midcourt stripe is Mark Jr. Dribble drive, shimmy shake, into the lane, gets up. Is he fouled or is he travel? And they're going to call a travel.
Yeah, kind of got stuck in no man's land there. Not much he could do there, and unfortunately turned the ball over there.
So Jermaine Coleman was looking for the contact, got up in the air, brought the ball down with him. The refs are going to talk about it, and actually they're going to call it a jump ball.
Wow.
So this will be called a jump ball. As somebody who used to umpire and ref, there's always 3 sides to every story, but kudos to the refs here for getting together and saying, here's what I saw, what did you see first? Nonetheless, the possession goes over to Bethesda, and we have a foul immediately, and this will be charged to Park Tudor, and that will put Luke Stuckey to the free throw line. So he's got 3.
Yeah, they put Ruffin back in there, and unfortunately picked up his third foul there. He definitely will have to sit on the bench for the rest of the half now. Ruffin getting an explanation as to what exactly as is Coach Adams.
There was a little bit of confusion because I didn't see too much contact. Nonetheless,
Coach Adams none too pleased with that call.
No. Especially a call like that's going to put him on the line for the 1-and-1 opportunity. Now, might not be too upset if he misses the first, but he doesn't, and he knocks it home. So Stuckey with the first of the 1-and-1, he'll get one more.
And it's one of those off-the-ball fouls, too, that you don't like to see as well. Had no bearing on the play. I got it.
So off the miss, ball batted around. But you have to like, if you're Bethesda, I think what has really set their tempo and their tone is their aggressiveness, especially on the offensive side of the basketball, going after those second chance rebounds.
Yeah, you definitely the more aggressive team here in this first half. And like I said, I'm sure Coach Adams is going to have a discussion with his team there at halftime about that.
So 19-12 Bethesda as we reach the 1 minute mark here of the second quarter. Petty has it. Mind you, Ruffin is on the bench. That's where a lot of their offense comes from. On the bench with 3 fouls. Under a minute to go. Not a lot of sets being ran here by Park Tudor. It's kind of a lot of standing around and a lot of one-on-one basketball.
Yeah, just kind of settling here, I guess is the word to look for. There's a nice 3 look there.
Coleman kicks it out to Wilkerson, and he puts it, Larry Bird, over the top of his head and splashes it home. And that's a nice 3 ball there to cut it to a 4-point lead. This is as close as Park Tudor has been since early in the first quarter. Bethesda tries to answer. Stuckey's 3 rims out, and Park Tudor with Petty has the basketball. Up top, left-handed 3. This one off the rim, no good. Stuckey has it, pushes it up to Malagan. Malagan gets it over the timeline. Left side, 3 ball in the air, short. Park Tudor with the rebound.
Yeah.
So Washington has it, and Washington is fouled.
I was kind of surprised at the quick shot there for Bethesda. I thought they'd kind of run that clock down a little bit more there towards the end of the first half.
So Devin Rudolph charged with the foul. That's his first, and Park Tudor will go to the free throw line for the 1-and-1.
Yeah, both teams in the bonus now.
So Kamen Washington goes to the line. He has not scored this evening. Looking to cut this lead in half if he makes them both. First of the 1-and-1, good. That makes it a 1-possession game for the first time since I believe it was 5-3 in favor of Bethesda.
Yeah, this game has one of those feels. If you watch this game, you feel Bethesda should be up 10 or 12 points right now, but this run by Park Tudor is 1-score game.
And we talked about this being possibly a game of run. Second free throw, good. So he does indeed cut the lead in half, 19-17. Here's the inbound. Under 15 seconds to play. Bethesda with the basketball looking to hold for the last shot. Douglas has it. Left-handed dribble finds Coleman. Coleman under pressure, steps out of it. Right side, 3 ball in the air, splash! And another 3 ball by Devin Rudolph to end the half with a bang. And it's 22-17 to Bethesda as we have hit recess. So you talk about momentum and a run that Park Tudor was on. They could have carried that in the locker room. But Rudolph says nope, hits his second 3 of the contest, and it's a 5-point halftime advantage for Bethesda Christian.
Yeah, let's see if that gets Bethesda going because the offense had gotten a little stagnant there, and that 3 could definitely change the momentum back in Bethesda's favor here.
We've got a great halftime show coming up for you here on IndianaSRN. Stay with us. It's halftime. Bethesda Christian with a 22-17 lead over Park Tudor.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
You want a sports degree that is beyond the game? A degree that immerses you from day one and launches you into the business side of sports. With a sports management major from IUPUI's School of Health and Human Sciences, you'll have insider access to sports professionals and will learn from faculty with years of teaching and industry experience. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to launch your sport industry career.
Without the basket, the sport of basketball would just be ball, and no one wants to play with balls if baskets aren't involved. So in this video, we're going to go over the history and evolution of the basket. A little while back we talked about the history of the ball, so you know where to go if you want to watch that video. This is a basket-only program. Basketball was invented in the winter of 1891. James Naismith wanted to invent a sport that can be played indoors during the winter time at YMCA, and so he did just that. He created the first basketball hoop with a broken peach basket that he placed 10 feet into the air. Why 10 feet, you might be wondering? Well, there's no significant reason for the sport itself. This was more so a coincidence, as he hung the peach baskets on the railing of the indoor running track at the YMCA gym in Springfield, Massachusetts, and that railing was 10 feet off the ground. Of course, that height stuck for the majority of its history, but what did change significantly is the basket. The baskets at or around this time had no hole and needed a ladder to be scooped out, or when they did add a hole a few years later, there was a tiny hole at the bottom that had to be poked out with a staff. By the year 1893, it was time to add a backboard, but the backboard was not invented for the players. It was invented to stop fans in the balcony from interfering with the ball. They were originally made out of chicken wire, so these weren't really effective for bank shots or rebounds. But that didn't stop players from trying to utilize the backboard, because on February 2nd in that same year, a box on the backboard was added, and this was used to assist players to aim towards the basket, but the chicken wire was starting to be an issue. So we fast forward to the start of the 20th century. The basket became a net, and in 1901, the net had a metal rim. But the net also had no bottom, so after every shot was made, someone had to come and poke the ball out. And man, what the heck is chicken wire still doing here? Thankfully, by the year 1904, wooden boards became mandatory. And finally, by the year 1906, the grand invention of cutting a hole at the bottom came into fashion, and we got the first tangible net with a solid backboard. In 1909, glass boards became more and more common, and this newfound strength slowly but surely led to something you may know as the dunk. By the year 1912, we finally got the iconic nylon net. So now when a shot is made, you can hear that crisp whooshing noise with that beautiful sound of a nothing but net basket. Now that's not why they were made. They weren't made to have an amazing noise. This design with the thick knots and the strong nylon just allowed the ball to fall directly in the center and not flop around after a score was made. As the sport of basketball became more and more popular, recreational and even professional sports leagues started to form. And these leagues wanted to create regulated dimensions for the backboard, backboard square, and rim. The NCAA and the NBA at the time thought it would be a great idea to have the same regulations. These regulations are a 6 feet wide and a 3.5 feet tall backboard. As for the square, it needs to be 24 inches wide and 18 inches tall. The line of the square needs to be 2 inches thick, and the square needs to be placed at the center above the rim. As for the rim needs to extend 6 inches from the backboard, and the front part of the rim must be 24 inches from the backboard, which leaves an 18-inch diameter for the ball to fall through. This was the norm for the main bulk of basketball history, but during the 1950s, it was not uncommon for the hoops to be 12 feet tall instead of 10, even in the NBA. In 1954, the Hawks and Lakers played a game with 12-foot rims, and you can thank this achievement to NBA legend George Mikan. He was so good at the game, the league wanted to make it more of a challenge for him. But only the opposite happened. The shorter players had an even harder time scoring, and Mikan had no problem scoring on 12 feet. So the hoop returned to its 10 feet standard. Beyond that point, the hoop stayed relatively the same, but a lot of power dunkers kept breaking the hoops with their amazing dunks. So around the 80s, hydraulic systems were implemented into the hoop, so if they do crash, the hoop would come down slowly. This was a nice idea until a man named Shaquille O'Neal came to town. In 1993, Shaq was busting these hydraulic hoops, so the NBA had to weld the hoops from the base to be even stronger. And now the hoops are almost indestructible, but every now and then we get some power dunkers to damage these hoops. For example, DeAndre Jordan was able to bend the rim, and Dwight Howard was able to knock the shot clock off of its balance. But beyond that, it is getting harder and harder to break a modern NBA hoop. Maybe Zion Williamson might have the Hulk-like strength to force the next evolution in hoop strength, but until then, this has been the evolution and history of the basketball hoop.
Today, greed, selfish interest, and barefaced corruption seem all the fashion. America needs great men of tolerance who can give honest debate to the great issues of the day. I'm seeing mostly squabbling, men squandering their time, being wolves to one another. Yet, I'm not without hope. We still have Freemasonry. Yes, the same Freemasons that helped create this country have always provided great men when needed. And today, in every city and town in America, Freemasonry is still providing that special place where young men can find their greatness and accomplished men can give something back. Yes, in this time of great hope, it is my hope that America will see that Freemasonry is a national treasure that cannot be separated from our country's future.
Halftime here at Bethesda Christian, where the home Patriots, looking for their 8th straight victory, hold on to a 22-17 lead over Park Tudor. Tony Donahue, John Lester with you. John, let's start with the last real minute there, the last minute of the second quarter. Park Tudor had the momentum, found themselves on a run, but Bethesda goes in the locker room after knocking down a big three with 3 seconds remaining to grab some of that momentum back.
Yeah, that big three-pointer there by Rudolph, you have the feeling that was just a gut punch to Park Tudor with her making that run there in the second quarter. And let's see if they can come out. They made a nice little run there to get back in this ball game here in the second quarter, so let's see how they can come out and respond here in this third quarter.
Yeah, and how important is discipline here with Thomas Ruffin, one of the best scorers for Park Tudor, with 3 first-half fouls.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a factor here in the second half. I'm anxious to see if Coleman is the other one the offense kind of tries to run through. I'm anxious to see if he tries to kind of start to take control offensively here in the second half for Park Tudor as well.
And if you're Bethesda Christian, you like what you got off the bench from Devin Rudolph. He's played some good D, knocked down 2 3 balls. And he has, I believe, 8 points, 8 of the 22, so a nice little spark off the bench from Bethesda.
Yeah, you like all the bench production you're getting from Bethesda Christian in that first half there. Everybody's done their role and everything. Then we were talking, one of the things I'm going back to, we were talking about in the pregame, like you said, the old announcer jinx, both these teams protect the ball. Well, both teams had 7 turnovers in that first half. They're going to have to control that a little bit here in the second half.
At what point do you think, John, that Park Tudor decides, let's run, let's get this tempo going? Bethesda, as we saw, their first possession of the night tonight was 1:30. They like to slow things down, try to get good looks. If you're Park Tudor, is your second half adjustment's going to be, hey, let's speed it up and let's get going and make them play our tempo?
Yeah, I think you may actually see that very early on here in the second half, because that slower tempo, you could tell how much Bethesda definitely favored that tempo in the first half. So I'm anxious to see if Park Tudor does try to speed it up, so they're going to get the ball first here to start the third quarter.
So the Panthers in the road, red uniforms, trailing by 5. They've trailed by as many as 11. 22-17, bit of a low score. Here's a nice little give and go down court, and a nice bucket there by Thomas Ruffin with the left hand, and it's a 22-19 game. So just like that, quick tempo, getting good looks at the rack.
Obviously, Coach Adams says he thinks he needs Ruffin in there, because I was surprised to see him start the second half with his 3 fouls, and you see why they need him in there, because he's on that offense and got a nice little layup there to open the half.
So Bethesda will try to slow it down as they've done throughout that first half.
Nice pass.
Nice pass for a bucket there, and just like that, Douglas gets it. And Park Tudor are going to cut into this 5-point lead, 24-19, both teams scoring on their first possessions of the quarter. And we'll have a foul here.
I think they got Malogan on that, I believe.
Yeah, Malogan there. Isaac Malogan with the foul. Going for the basketball, just got caught putting his body into it. Here's a nice backdoor pass. Finds Petty off the inbound. He lays it in off the glass. Petty is on the board with his first 2 points. And it's 24-21 Bethesda.
Great inbound play there to find Petty underneath, open the basket. Yeah, we're back to a one-score game again.
2 good-looking high-percentage shots to start this half for Park Tudor. Probably exactly how they drew him up there off the inbound pass. Bethesda with the ball. Chapman up top. Right-handed dribble. Waits for a screen. Gives it to Malagan. Malagan right side. Swings it to Luke Stuckey. Luke Stuckey fires a 3 off the rim. No good. Ball batted around. Park Tudor in control. They can tie it. Ruffin has it right side. Bethesda falls back into the one-on-one coverage. Petty has it. Thinks about a 3. Back up top. Ruffin. Swing. Great job swinging it here so far for Park Tudor. Let's see if they can get a good look again for the 3rd straight possession, moving towards the basket. They'll reset the offense in Cayman, Washington. Waits for the screen. He gets it. Dribble drive, goes up into the trees, and he is fouled. It'll be a block. That's Isaac Malagan with another foul, and that will put Park Tudor and Cayman, Washington on the free throw line.
Yeah, Washington finding the lane there and finding the foul, draw the foul there on Malagan, trying to get the Malagans in a little bit of foul trouble here.
First free throw. Good. So it's a 2-point game. This is as close as they've been since the first 3 minutes of the first quarter. Tam Sweet and Savory Cafe is a new spot for breakfast or lunch, open Wednesday through Sunday. Try our classic breakfast and our sweet baked goods located in Lawrence. Check out Tam's at 6427 Oak Landon Road, or give them a call today, 317-894-7000. Free throw missed, but Park Tudor on a 5-2 run to start the quarter. They've cut it to just 2. 2 minutes gone by here in the 3rd quarter.
And again, looks like Bethesda's going with the slower pace here.
Chapman dribbles, loses it, gets it back, gets it to Malagan. Sam Malagan has it. Back up top to Chapman. Chapman will drive, lowers his shoulder, and he misses the lay-in, but he will go to the line to shoot 2. So a nice aggressive move there by Jamison Chapman. And that will send him to the free throw line here for the first time this evening. He has, I believe, 3 points on the night.
Yeah, good move there, drawing the foul on Washington, and now see if he can earn himself 2 free throws here. Put Bethesda back up 4 points.
8 points, 3 rebounds on the year. First free throw, good. He's got 4. Did he hit a 3 earlier? Yeah, so he's got 4. I think he hit that opening 3 for Bethesda.
Coach Adams going to take Ruffin out of the game here. He doesn't want to risk his 4th foul right now.
Especially with, it looked like there they said, okay, whoever Ruffin is guarding, let's go aggressively to the hole and try to get him to commit that 4th foul. Second free throw, no good. Remains a 3-point Bethesda Christian lead. Park Tudor trailing with the basketball. A lot of passes around the arc. Dribble drive, Petty. He'll hand it off. Coleman to the rack. Hesitation. No good. Ball batted around, and it'll go off of Park Tudor.
Not a bad look there for Coleman inside on the drive, just unable to get it to finish there.
A little bit of a softer kiss, preferably, off of that backboard. Bethesda has it. Petty picks up the pressure in the backcourt. Sam Malagan gets it over the timeline, dishes it to Luke Stuckey. Stuckey swings. That's Chapman. Chapman will slow it up. Left side, 3-ball, Luke Stuckey, good. Nice setup there to come off the screen on the curl. Use that screen to perfection. Shoulders towards the basket, line up your feet, knock it down. It's a 6-point Bethesda lead.
Yeah, great look there by Stuckey, able to knock down his first 3-pointer of the night.
Petty has it. Left side, here's a 3 to answer for Park Tudor. Off the rim, no good. Petty had it, and it's going to go off of Chapman's foot and stay here with Park Tudor.
Coleman, I think he would have liked a little bit better look than that. Coleman didn't look like he was really set there behind the 3-point arc. It looked like it was a little bit of a rushed shot there.
So Ben Wilkerson will check into the game here for Park Tudor. He has 1 3. That came at the end of the quarter in the second quarter. Park Tudor looking to cut it in half with the 3. They'll dribble drive to the lane. Nice uses of the Euro step. And the multicolored shoes gets the bucket. So Park Tudor back within 4. So it was Washington with his first bucket of the night. On the dribble penetration. Bethesda with the ball. Luke Douglas over to Chapman. Chapman in the corner. Bethesda using all the time that they need to get a good look. And here's a deflection stolen away. Petty dishes it up top. Lay in good. And it's a 2-point lead as Park Tudor cuts into it. And a nice bucket there by Ben Wilkerson, who just checked in the game.
Yeah, great defensive stand there for Park Tudor to force the turnover and get themselves a nice little layup. And we got ourselves a 2-point game here.
Wilkerson has 5. It's 28-26. It'll be a full timeout charge to Bethesda. We'll take it with them. You're watching High School Hoops on IndianaSRN.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Welcome back, Bethesda Christian and Park Tudor. Park Tudor on a 6-0 run to cut this to a one-possession game, 28-26. Tony Donnie alongside John Lester with you here on IndianaSRN. John, it's been a back-and-forth third quarter here. But most importantly, other guys have been stepping up for Park Tudor with Ruffin on the bench in foul trouble.
Yeah, with Ruffin on the bench, they're getting a nice little production for Coleman. And I like the minutes that Mark Jr. is giving them off the bench tonight as well. He's been in there for some pretty profitable minutes as well for Park Tudor.
So Bethesda inbounds it. They have the basketball with Chapman. Looking to break this 6-0 run from Park Tudor. Chapman dribbles out of it. Mid-range jumper, stop and pop good. That's Sam Malogan. He averages 16.
Yeah,
he has 6.
When your offense struggles a little bit, give it to your offensive leader all year long, Malogan.
Nice little mid-range jumper. It's back to a two-possession game at 30-26. Dribble drive off the rim and good. They will count it. So a 3-point play opportunity coming up here for Park Tudor. It was a nice dribble drive by Cayman Washington, and he gets it. And will go to the line to complete the and one. You know, John, we talked about this. This is coming down to the wire. Park Tudor has been involved in a lot of close games. They just haven't come up on the right side of a lot of those.
Yeah, they definitely have experience on these close games. And let's see, it looks like you said, looks like we're headed for another one. Bethesda, on the other hand, they've had a lot of games. They have won 2 overtime games, but outside of that, they haven't really been involved in a lot of closer games. So we'll see if that comes a factor.
So free throw is good. Now Park Tudor gets a stop. It's 30-29. Petty has it, dribble drive in the corner, up with it with the right hand, got it, and the foul, put him on the line for a second straight time. Park Tudor with a chance for the 3-point play.
Oh, wow, you like to see this, and you like it with Ruffin on the bench as well for Park Tudor. They're getting this run going as well. That's Bryce Petty with the nice and one there.
So Petty's free throw good, and Park Tudor back on top, 32-30, their first lead since it was 3-0.
I've also got Park Tudor 6 for 8 at the free throw line as well. Only missed 2 free throws tonight as well.
So here comes Bethesda, riding a 7-game winning streak, 11-1 on the year. Chapman picks up his dribble, finds Malogan for a jumper, and he's going to hit that 9 out of 10 times. Deadly from mid-range. He puts it in. He's got 8, and we're tied at 32.
Yeah, you definitely don't see him miss that shot very often. Offensive leader for Bethesda there.
Won't lie, reminds me of myself. And Park Tudor with a quick answer. Washington puts it in, and they take the lead back, 34-32. Bethesda trying to answer. That's a travel. He gets away with it. Chapman gets out of it. Here comes Douglas. Douglas to Malogan. Now it's Chapman, has a bucket, doesn't take it. Back up to Stuckey. Stuckey swings. Rudolph with it, and he traveled. So Rudolph has been a spark off the bench, knocked down a few shots there in that first half. A couple 3 ball in the second quarter, but he gets called for the travel. And Park Tudor can add to their lead when we come back. Full timeout, Park Tudor on top. You're watching High School Hoops on IndianaSRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Welcome back to Bethesda Christian High School with 1:42 remaining. Park Tudor, for the first time since the first minute and a half of the first quarter, finds himself ahead with a 34-32 advantage. Tony Donahue, John Lester with you. And John, really the impressive part about this is their number one scorer and best player, Ruffin, has been on the bench with 3 fouls.
Yeah, getting it done. The bench player is getting some great production here for Coach Adams, and he's likes to like what he sees. And you like to see this, like you said, with their star player on the bench here with 3 fouls, getting this run going.
So here's another dribble, and we're going to have a charge. So Cayman Washington called for the charge. And really, we talked about this. So, John, a halftime adjustment for Park Tudor was getting good looks at the bucket. So far, they have certainly done that. That's what's got them back to the lead.
And they're getting them so more aggressive on the offensive end as well. And that's leading to tighter defense as well, forcing Bethesda into some bad shots here and turnovers here in the third quarter.
It's a 12-4 run for Park Tudor.
Looks like a little bit of slight press again.
Keep that tempo up, as we talked about. Park Tudor likes to play fast. Bethesda likes to slow things up. Logan dishes it. Chapman has the lane, goes up with it, scoop and score. And he'll go to the line for a 3-point possibility, and we're tied at 34.
Yeah, if you're Park Tudor there, you might be better off just staying back there when Chapman gets down that low. Just give up the layup. Don't give him the and one opportunity.
So Chapman will go to the free throw line. I believe he has 4 points on the evening. So Chapman in there will have another substitution for Bethesda as Jimmy Fancher checks in. To complete the and one, he does it, and Bethesda back on top. 35-34. So the 3-point play working in both teams' favors here, John.
Yeah, I can say getting the and one opportunities, getting aggressive. There's an open 3 look.
So Park Tudor tries to answer the 3 air ball, and it is saved. So Bethesda got the rebound. They save it, but Park Tudor has it. They'll reset with a minute to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, now I was going to say you might see Park Tudor back this up here with under a minute, try to get the best shot possible here at the end of the quarter.
3 ball, left hand, buckets. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Calvin Mark Jr. That is his, I believe, he's got 8 points tonight on that 3 ball, and it's a 37-35. We've had 4 lead changes in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, that Mark Jr., I was saying, he's been giving Coach Adams some great minutes off the bench tonight.
Here's a dribble drive answer. Off the backboard is good, so Jimmy Fancher on the board with the layup off the backboard. 20 seconds to go, tied up at 37.
Yeah, I think you're going to see one shot here for Park Tudor to end the third quarter.
I think this has all gone right for Park Tudor. You've had Ruffin on the bench in foul trouble. You'll have him for the entire fourth quarter, but the offense has been firing on all cylinders without him in there. Petty drives, puts it up, misses it. It'll be a block, and Petty will go to the line for 2 with 5.3 seconds to go.
I believe that is number 3 on Sam Malogan now for Bethesda.
So we'll see if Sam will head to the bench or if they will keep him in. Averaging 16 points and 4 rebounds. He's kind of came on here in this third quarter.
Yeah, Park Tudor for the most part has held him down and held him in check like they needed to do.
So Petty's free throw is good. The 5th lead change in the last minute and a half. Chapman checks out. And Andrew Hensley for the first time tonight with 5 seconds will check in. Petty's second free throw, good. 39-37. Petty's had a good night tonight. Here's a half-court heave. Off the rim, no good. You still got a second, and Petty will just say nope. After a big third quarter for Park Tudor, the Panthers find themselves ahead 39-37. You're watching High School Hoops on IndianaSRN.
You want a career that will transform your life while you change the lives of others by helping them live well. With a health or exercise sciences degree from IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences, you will gain an in-depth understanding of the healthcare industry while preparing you for a variety of graduate and professional programs in health. And with Indy as your classroom, you will have clinical options within leading hospitals right in our backyard, as well as a degree from Indiana University, reputable leaders in the healthcare industry. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
We are back. Fourth quarter action coming up for you on IndianaSRN. Tony Donahue, John Lester, Park Tudor. A big third quarter there, scoring 22 points to take a 2-point advantage into the fourth quarter, 39-37. Tony Donahue, John Lester with you. All of a sudden, John, this 7-game winning streak for Bethesda is starting to be in question.
Yeah, Park Tudor's really getting aggressive here against Bethesda. We were talking they're off air during a quarter break. This Park Tudor with 39 points, only 3 points in the first quarter. They have really picked it up since that first quarter.
So Bethesda will start the quarter with the basketball, and checking back in for Park Tudor is Ruffin, I do believe. He's back out there with those 3 fouls. Chapman has it. Picks up his dribble. Up top comes Luke Douglas. Thought about a 3, but those lengthy hands of Ruffin in the way.
Getting ready to see Malagan come back in for Bethesda.
Dribble penetration from Douglas. Douglas to Chapman. He spins, goes up with it uncontrollably, and the ball is batted around, controlled by Park Tudor. Petty has it right side. Ruffin, 3-ball. Good. Just like that, off the bench, puts it in for 3. And it's 42-37, the largest lead of the night for Park Tudor.
Well, that's a 5-point swing right there, Tony. You got that 3-point out off of a forced missed 2-point shot there. That's a good 5-point swing right there.
So Bethesda will take a 30-second timeout. Jack Cherry Insurance Agency. We suggest you contact his team for all of your insurance needs. Family, car, business, and home. An insurance company to serve you. Contact him 317-894-7000. It's been all Park Tudor since the go here of the start of the second half. But a nice 3 there right off the bench, and it's a 5-point advantage.
Yeah, Park Tudor, yeah. You like that 3-point. Like I said, that was a 5 points when they forced a bad shot for Bethesda, and then you come back and get an open 3. And Bethesda a little bit on the ropes here. This is a little bit unfamiliar territory for them. Let's see how they respond here.
So Ruffin knocks down that 3 to make it a 5-point game. Park Tudor. It was 24-19, I believe, at halftime. But a 22-point burst in the third quarter. Park Tudor scored twice here early in the fourth quarter, and it's 42-37. Bethesda looking for the answer. Into the lane, and there is the big hands for the block for Ruffin. Park Tudor, 3-ball in the air off the pump fake. Got it! Back-to-back 3s for Park Tudor. Another one from Ben Wilkerson, and an 8-point advantage for Park Tudor.
Yeah, you get the feeling this is a must-score trip for Bethesda. Park Tudor has all the momentum going right now.
Chapman picks up his dribble, swings it back up top. Isaac Malagan has it. Chapman dribbles, dishes it off, but he was fouled. There's a lot of game left to be played here, John, but Park Tudor bottling up all that momentum, and they're knocking down 3s left and right.
Yeah, they've got all the momentum in the world going right now, and the basket is very big at their end, and Bethesda having a problem getting the offense going here in the second half against this Park Tudor defense.
So here's the inbound pass to Sam Malagan. He's playing with 3 fouls. Chapman up top. Left side, corner 3, answer. Good bucket there, just what they needed. Malagan with his first 3 ball of the night, and it's a 45-40 game.
Yeah, offensive leader here all year long is Malagan. Great job finding him in the open for the three-pointer there and cutting this to 5 and stopping this run for Park Tudor.
So Malagan, who averages 16, has 11 on the night. Park Tudor with the basketball. Dribble drive, dish out, he traveled. So we have a travel on the pump fake. Turnover, and the ball back to Bethesda Christian. They can make this a one-possession game with a bucket.
Yeah, what you needed right there, the three-point, and then you get the stop on the defensive end and a chance to make this a one-score game like you just mentioned.
Inbound comes to Luke Douglas. Gets a screen from Chapman. And they get it over the timeline, no problems. Stuckey with the basketball. Malagan picks up his dribble, finds Luke Stuckey. Stuckey to Chapman. No need to panic here, but at some point the tempo is going to have to be picked up here for Bethesda. Chapman, nice dish down low, and Luke Douglas misses it, and Park Tudor has the ball.
This is worth noting, that last foul, that Ruffin just picked up his 4th foul on that previous foul there for Park Tudor.
So Ruffin playing with 4 fouls. I believe he is back to the bench. Petty with the basketball up top. And Park Tudor will slow it down here. Cayman Washington with the basketball.
Yeah, you got a 5-point lead, 5 minutes to go. No sense of rushing anything right now. Still plenty of time, but you just don't want to throw up a rush shot right now.
Corner. That is Wilkerson. He's got a 3. He'll take that Larry Bird step-in jump shot, miss it. Ball off of his foot. On the ground goes Isaac Malagan. And are we going to have a jump ball? Yes, and the possession arrow will stay with Park Tudor.
Yeah, you're seeing Park Tudor get to a lot more loose balls than they did in the first half. We're going to have a timeout here.
So timeout charge to Bethesda. It is a 30. We'll keep it right here with a little more than half the quarter to go, John. Momentum has gone back and forth. Park Tudor's knocked down some big 3-point shots. Ruffin has had a good night, but it seems like when he's off the court in foul trouble is when Park Tudor's offense is picked up.
Yes, they're actually getting some help filling in for Ruffin there as he's been in a little bit of foul trouble all night long here, and hats off to Coach Adams and getting the assist from his benchers there to fill in on Ruffin's absence here.
So the timeout charge to Park Tudor. They retain the basketball after the jump ball. And Ruffin stays on the bench with those 4 fouls with 4:50 remaining. I think maybe the 2-minute mark, depending on how this, if it's a 10-point game, maybe you don't. Maybe you say, hey. But 5 points, this could swing either way. Inbound pass comes to Coleman. Coleman thinks about a 3, drives, gets into the lane, up and good. For the 3rd time in the second half, Park Tudor will go to the line looking to complete an and 1.
Yeah, great move there by Coleman, answering out that timeout. Chance to make this back to an 8-point game again.
So Coleman uses the body, uses those long arms, and gets the bucket. 47-40 Park Tudor. Free throw is good. And 1's completed. They've had 3 of those here in the second half. And it's a 48-40 advantage for Park Tudor, their largest of the night.
Park Tudor hitting their free throws, 9 for 11 at the free throw line tonight.
Luke Douglas with the basketball. You don't need 3s here, John, but if you get a good look, like this one, and he's fouled, off the rim, no good. Bryce Petty charged with the foul, stepped into the lane, and that's going to put Bethesda on the line to shoot 3, trailing by 8.
Yeah, that's the last thing you need if you're Park Tudor, and it's lucky it's not a 4-point opportunity because Malagan almost hit that as well.
So Malagan will go to the line. He's got 11 on the night. First free throw, good. Make it 12.
It's been a quiet 12 points for him, though, tonight. Park Tudor's really done a good job holding him down as best they can.
And I don't think he scored until early in that second quarter. Second free throw, good. 48-42, the advantage now for Park Tudor.
Anxious to see, like you were saying, how long they wait for Ruffin. It might depend on if Bethesda makes a little run here.
See if they substitute anybody in here.
I believe they brought Horvath in right there.
So Horvath back in. Third free throw, no good. And Park Tudor will slow the tempo down with 6 points the advantage, 4:15 to go.
I can see if Bethesda gets a little aggressive here on the defensive end. Kind of playing it out right now.
Yep, Park Tudor with the ball. Horvath did check in, a nice bucket there. Coleman stepping up in the scoring department, and it's back to an 8-point lead.
Yeah, you don't need to force anything yet. Still a little less than 4 minutes here, but Bethesda, you're talking about almost must scores each trip down the court right now.
Yep, trailing by 8, and you're going to have to pick up the tempo here too. Up top comes Luke Stuckey. Sam Malogan, mid-range jumper, blocked out of bounds. Petty got up and swatted that thing away.
Wow, great job there by Petty, timing that just perfectly, blocking Malogan's shot out of bounds. Here comes Ruffin.
Yep, so Ruffin back in with 4 fouls at the 3:33 mark of the fourth quarter.
So let's see if Bethesda tries to go right at him, try to get him his 5th foul.
Chapman on the inbound, dishes it to Malogan. Malogan gets through the lane. Look like it kind of floated out of his hand. He tracks down his own rebound. Nice backdoor cut. Scoop, score, and the foul. So a nice pass there. Luke Stuckey finishes it in the lane, and he'll go to the line for an and one opportunity.
I think they got Horvath on that foul. So that'll be his 3rd if it is.
John, I think we could call 50 more high school games this season. I don't think we'll see as many and one opportunities.
No, we've definitely had a bunch of them tonight, that's for sure.
So he completes it. Luke Stuckey with the 3-point play. And it's 50-45 in favor of Park Tudor. They have the basketball.
And each foul from Bethesda will send Park Tudor to the line from here on out as well.
Ruffin up top. He'll dribble, drive, off the backboard, rolls around and out. And Bethesda with the basketball. Open corner 3. Rattled it home for Luke Douglas. It's 50-48.
Boy, that shot by Ruffin looks like it hung up on the rim for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It never did go down. Then a 3 at the other end for Bethesda.
It is a 6-0 run for Bethesda. Park Tudor led by as many as 8 at 48-40. It's 50-48. 3-ball answer. Ruffin rebound, no good. Bethesda with the basketball looking to take the lead. 3-ball, feeling it, no. And the ball is rebounded by Park Tudor. And Ruffin is fouled, and we'll have a 1-and-1, I do believe, on the other end for Park Tudor.
I believe that is the 7th foul, yes.
So 1-and-1 the rest of the way here for both sides. You got to get a look at a 3. The gym would have exploded had that one gone in. That would have gave Bethesda the lead back. But nonetheless, a miss.
It was a little bit back there behind the 3-point line, but yeah, he was wide open. That's a shot you probably almost have to take there, as wide open as he was, just unable to get it to drop.
So Ruffin 1-and-1. Off the rim, rattles around, and a rebound over the top, big man style. Cayman Washington puts it home. 52-48. John, we talked about second chance opportunities. That's the biggest one of the night right there as Park Tudor makes it a 2-possession game.
Yeah, right by Washington. He's put up a profitable 12 points tonight for Park Tudor.
So you don't need a 3 here. 2 minutes to go, looking for an answer.
Yeah, no sense forcing anything yet.
Douglas drives, finds Stuckey, and we have a travel. Couldn't set his feet, shuffled him, and with just under 2 minutes to go, Park Tudor will take the ball. Isaac Malogan will check back in the game for Bethesda. And Bethesda's 7-game winning streak on the line.
Yeah, let's see if Bethesda gets aggressive here on the defensive end. Again, it's still only a 4-point game, but you're under 2 minutes. Let's see exactly how aggressive they get here.
So Washington with the basketball. No real sense of urgency here. Time on the side of Park Tudor. Ruffin has it. Swings left side. Ben Wilkerson. And we're going to have a foul, I believe. And that will send Jermaine Coleman to the line for the 1-and-1. Not sure if that was intentional.
Chapman on the foul there for Bethesda.
Looked like just 2 aggressive parties going after it. As Petty will check back in the game. And Ruffin will check out, which is a smart idea with 4 fouls, knowing that they're going to the defensive side of the ball. And we have a full timeout charge to Bethesda. We'll take it with them. 1:36 to go. Park Tudor with the 4-point lead and the basketball. We'll be back right after this on IndianaSRN.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. His land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Back here to Bethesda. Bethesda, a lot of three-pointers tonight. It stretched their lead, John, early. Now they're going to need a few here as both teams have been pretty high percentage from the three-point line, getting good looks. But Park Tudor with a 4-point advantage. Ruffin going to the free throw line here for the 1-and-1. Jack's Donuts has great donuts made and served fresh every day, plus great tasting coffee. Stop by the Jack's Donuts at 9105 East 56th Street or at Jack's in your neighborhood. Tell Lee Markham I said hello. Jack's Donuts, the official donut of IndianaSRN. First free throw, no good on the front end of the 1-and-1, so that foul now looks a little bit better as Park Tudor has an empty possession, and Bethesda will look to cut into this lead.
Yeah, critical miss there on the 1-and-1, and we're going to have, I think, this is going to send Bethesda to the line.
So a hand check foul up top. You don't want that. You don't want to be sending Bethesda to the free throw line. A very high percentage free throw shooting team as Isaac Malagan will check back into the game. And to the free throw line is Luke Stuckey for the 1-and-1. 18 fouls and 17 fouls. So still 1-and-1 both sides.
I'll tell you what, after that first quarter, hats off to Coach Adams for making adjustments here because it looks like Bethesda was well on their way to a victory here, but hats off to Park Tudor for turning things around here and having a 4-point lead here.
First of the 1-and-1, good. Don't forget at the end of the game we'll have the Piper Logistics Player of the Game. A few candidates on both sides for sure. We'll see how this one plays out over the final 125. Second free throw, good. Stuckey converts on both. 52-50. Familiar territory here for Park Tudor. John, as you talked about earlier, a team that has played some 1 to 2 possession games down the stretch.
And let's see how long Bethesda here before they foul because Park Tudor can get the best shot they can. No rush, no reason for them to rush. Anything.
Petty to Ruffin. Ruffin back over to the left side, finds Washington. Washington will slow it up. Now under a minute to play. Here's the double team. Nice dish. Ruffin thinks about it, dribbles in, goes up with it, gets his own rebound, and another miss, and he's fouled and one. So 3 straight opportunities for Ruffin at the cup. He finally gets the third one to go down, and he's fouled. That's a backbreaker right there. You have the missed shot, but Ruffin, using his size, puts it in. And he'll go to the line to try to complete the and-one, the 5th and-1 opportunity for Park Tudor here in the second half.
Well, you were seeing Bethesda get all those offensive rebounds in the first half. That has definitely changed here in the second half. Park Tudor seems to be getting all the loose balls now.
So 49.4 to go. Ruffin's free throw to complete the and-one is short. Ball batted around. Nice job by Jamison Chapman with the box out. He's got the basketball. Trailing by 4. Ball deflected, almost stolen, but it winds up in the hands of Luke Douglas. Douglas up top. You don't need a 3 here, trailing by 4. Here's your three-point shooter, though, if you want one. Off the rim, no good. Ball batted and controlled by Bryce Petty. Petty dishes it up. Ruffin's going to go to the rack. Misses. Hit. I thought he thought he was going to get the contact from Chapman. He doesn't. Chapman pulls the plug. Ball batted around here. I'd get a timeout if I'm Bethesda. They won't. Chapman fires a 3 short, no good. Offensive rebound, putback foul, and 1. Sam Malagan with the offensive rebound, the and 1. Put him on the line with 11.5 seconds to go.
Well, you got a little bit of a forced three-pointer there, but there was Malagan to clean up the miss, an offensive rebound, and a three-point opportunity, another three-point opportunity.
Usually it's raining threes. It's raining and 1s tonight from Bethesda. What a bucket there. Right place, right time, the aggressive rebound. And now I have to ask you this, John. 54-52, you're going to the line. Are you missing this on purpose?
No.
Or do you take the free throw to cut the lead to 1 and foul immediately?
No, I think you have to try to make it a 1-point game, and then I think you need to set up as big of a press as you have all night long. You haven't seen a whole lot of press from Bethesda, and of course, if you do, then you have to immediately foul.
It's a full timeout. We'll keep it here. If you like what you see, please let us know. Email us at coach@IndianaSRN.org. If you'd like to help us get more student-athletes on the air, please go to our website, IndianaSRN.org, and hit that donate button on the screen. IndianaSRN, where you're always in the game. I think the message here is make that free throw, cut it to a one-possession game or a one-point game. Go for the steal immediately on the inbound, if not foul.
Yeah.
You can't even let him – you can't go for the 10 seconds. You just don't have enough time.
Yeah, right. And then you don't really have even if he makes this, you don't really have a choice at this point who to foul because Park Tudor's obviously going to try to get it in the hands of Ruffin or Coleman, who's had the good game tonight. So make this and then –
don't forget tomorrow night from Tech. IndianaSRN has you covered with the City Alliance tournament from Tech. Free throw is good. 11 and a half seconds to go. Coleman will inbound it. Gets it in. Here's the pressure, and they'll foul immediately.
Yeah, no real option at that point. Yeah. You just had to foul the first person that had the ball.
So Stuckey commits the foul. I think he wanted it a few seconds before that. And I believe Dion Payne will go to the free throw line here. Excuse me. Take that back. It'll be Mark Jr., one of their best free throw shooters. So Mark Jr. will go to the free throw line. He's got a three-pointer. And he will shoot the double bonus here. The lefty fires the first, short.
Well, that was one of I was going to say it's one of those things. If he makes both, you go up 3. Do you foul? But that's out of the equation now.
And Park Tudor, who has been pretty good from the free throw line tonight, finds himself once again in a one-possession game here late. Can they finish it?
You definitely have to make this one if you're Mark Jr.
Second free throw, Mark Jr. No. And Bethesda has a chance with any bucket to win it. Here we go. 5 seconds to go. Malagan takes it, floats off the backboard. Good. And I think we'll have a timeout called here.
I think Park Tudor's out.
The whistles are blowing. A game winner nonetheless for Sam Malagan. And they're going to bring everybody back.
Boy, tell you, I thought Park Tudor was out of timeouts, but they maybe did have one left.
We will see if they do indeed have a timeout. And I think you have to – the clock should stop.
Not in high school, no.
Under 10?
It continues on.
So 1.8 on the clock.
Unless that's what they're discussing it here.
Brad Presser might need to run down and get that replay ready for him. So 1.8 on the clock. Bethesda goes the length of the court after the missed free throws. And is their guy, Sam Malagan, off the backboard good, who will more than likely be your Piper Logistics player of the game.
Yeah, they had him held in check in the first half, but boy, has he taken over almost single-handedly here in the second half for Bethesda.
So Bethesda riding a 7-game winning streak. Park Tudor has controlled the second half tempo. Bethesda with the lead, and I think the message here with 1.8 is let them shoot it from half court. Just do not foul.
I don't even know if you even guard the inbound or if you're Bethesda, just send all your guys back.
I'm lining up the picket fence, 5 guys at half court with my hands in my shorts and saying do not foul. Do not foul. I wouldn't even be having my hands up. I would literally fold them on the defensive end and say, if we're going to lose this game, it's going to be off a miracle that's going to put Park Tudor on Sports Center.
I am surprised they have a guarder on the inbounder, and then they got the 3 at half court there.
Petty can run the baseline. He will throw it still out of bounds. Here's the heave, Bryce Drew style, up in the air, battle around. Petty's got a chance. It's good. Petty puts it in. Bryce Petty off the deflection, puts it in, and Park Tudor wins it. Oh, my goodness, you may not ever see a better ending to a high school basketball game.
Wow.
Bethesda is stunned. Park Tudor wins it. 56-55 on the Bryce Petty bucket. unbelievable.
That's why we were talking until I put all your guys back.
Send it to Sports Center. What a bucket, what a game. Let's go back and take a look at the replay. You can inbound it here. A great inbound, the deflection, right, the Petty in the air, buckets, he definitely got it off too.
There was nothing wrong with that. Bethesda batted like you're supposed to. Unfortunately, they were just right there.
And Bethesda Christians, 7-game winning streak out the door. Park Tudor at the buzzer, 56-55 winners. What a game. Tony Donahue, John Lester with you on IndianaSRN. Let's pick our Piper Logistics. Let's go with the play of the game. Bryce Petty with that bucket is your Piper Logistics play of the game. What a bucket there. But again, you mentioned it defensively. Bat the ball down. Sometimes we see it in the NFL and college football. Hail Marys happen. That was certainly a Hail Mary for Park Tudor, and they win it by 1. They finally closed out a close game.
Yeah, right. They had so many close losses this year, and and let's see if this is a big momentum booster for them going through the rest of the season for Park Tudor.
For everybody here at IndianaSRN, we thank you for watching this exciting contest. Park Tudor with a 56-55 win. City Alliance action coming up tomorrow night right here on IndianaSRN. For the entire staff, thanks to Brett, Brad, and John, I'm Tony Donahue. Park Tudor at the buzzer wins at 56-55. Have a great Friday evening.